little bit of action. A 5-star master doesn't take like kind of sort of action when it's convenient. They take action now. When I got started my first day, I got started just like all you guys with a distributor number and a website. Shocking, huh? I think we think sometimes that like Kyle Passetti or Jason O'Toole or Tara or any of these people or Kristen Ryan Johnson or any of them, Bonsai or Jennifer Webster, we think that they like got started somehow differently. We all got started the same way. We went on the site, filled out the form. And I remember I'm like, okay, that went. And I got my sponsor on the phone and her upline and going, listen, this is what you want to do. They put me through the GST. I'm going to make these calls. This is what you want to say. This is the tool. And I immediately got off the phone and I took massive action. I think I got 8 people to the overview video that day. 3 of them on a three-way call. All 3 decided to start promoters. And we made $1,200 in 16 hours. I was like, wow, that was so easy. Let's do it again. And we took that action. And that's in 10 days how we earned our BMW. See, you can view this day that you're here right now as your start date. Life's like, you're restarting, you're relaunching your business. In fact, every month I restart my business because my following goes to 0, right? I'm like, I'm restarting. So you have the ability to take everything you're learning today and take massive action. The more action that you take, the harder that you work, the more you implement this, you will see success. Millionaires aren't lazy. They do work very, very hard. Straight from a millionaire, they are not afraid of failure. Be honest, how many of you guys are afraid of rejection? Rejection sucks, doesn't it? Here's what I'll promise you. I've shared this plan with thousands of people, but I've had hundreds watch the video. I had like 650 or so watch the video. So I've had to probably talk to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. I can't even tell you. So I'm always talking to people, always telling them about my status. But knowing I've had over 650 people watch the video, but I've only enrolled about 200 of them. What does that mean about the other 400? What did they do? They said no. They told me no? Can you believe that? Even my mom said no to me 7 times. She did. I called her up and said, no, I'm staying where I'm at. She was broke in another company. I'm like, Mom, you gotta do this. You're overweight, you're broke, like, you need this. No. Called her every other day. It took her 3 weeks to finally say yes. And then, do you think I can get my money back? I'm like, I know you can get your money back. So I'm telling you that I showed this plan to over 600 people, and only 200. So what's my batting average? 30%. I'm batting about 300 right now. So you're telling me that you can bat 300 and make 7 figures a year. I only get a yes 1 out of 3 times, which means that the majority of the time people are saying no. I need to think about it. I need to talk to my spouse. I need to wait till the next payday. Maybe they don't answer my phone the next time I call them. I gotta get more money. I gotta run this by my doctor, the pharmacist, the dog kisser down the street. I don't know, there's always something. You know what my favorite one is? I need to pray about it. Like, oh, okay, alright, let's bow our heads. Let's pray. Just jump. Call them on their bluff, right? Call them on their BS. The first objection is never the real one, by the way. It really isn't. I'm like, well, if you did need to talk to your spouse, or let's say you did talk to your spouse and said yes and you're ready to get started today, well, no, I actually have to. That's the real one. That's the real one. But I'm not afraid of failure. So I'm telling you that I've had over 400 people reject me, which means I'm getting rejection every day. And that doesn't include the thousands of people that wouldn't even watch the video. The thousands of people that never even answered my call when I called them back. That I had no confirmation if they've been to my website. So I have tons of people that are saying, no, I'm not even interested in taking a look. You gotta view this as farming. Millionaires are the best farmers. Now, I'm not saying that you should go and start a farm. I'm not talking about agriculture here, but you gotta view this as farming. Let me ask you a question. Did you guys grow up on a farm? Really, got a few. Okay, good. So let me ask you this. What did they grow?
Oh, it was more animals.
Livestock? Oh, okay. We're in the desert. Clearly. Okay, imagine green pastures, right? Let's just say corn, right? So you're the farmer. Does a farmer take the seeds of corn, plant them in the ground, walk away, and then a week later, when they come up, they're like those little sprouts, like those little green sprouts. And does he go up to those green sprouts and he's like, "What? I planted corn! What the heck?" Does he do that? No. He knows that he's sowing seed. But he also doesn't go to that corn and as soon as it starts growing, he's not like, plant corn and expecting it to be soybeans. You gotta plant good seeds and realize, does every seed turn into a stalk? Does every seed turn into a stalk? No. Does every harvest, or does every planting turn into the most plentiful harvest? Are there seasons where it's rougher than others? Is there seasons where there's too much rain or not enough rain? There's a drought. Is there seasons when the soil is not flourishing? Not every seed you sow will come to fruition. And don't expect, if you're sowing seeds of doubt or disbelief. Some of you guys have doubt and disbelief if salad really works. Some of you guys are sowing negativity into the grounds of your business. Well, that man did that, but great, keep speaking that over your friends. Well, all my promoters are just lazy. Great. Keep speaking that over your team. Every word that you say, every action that you take is sowing it into the ground. So what type of harvest are you about to reap? If any. Some of you guys aren't going to eat this fall because you think this is a lottery. Oh, I bought the farm. I'll come back in fall. It takes work. You're going to have failure. You're going to have pests that get into your business and into your crop. It's true. Being afraid of failure is like being afraid of success. Because at the end of the day, if you sow enough, both are inevitable. I've failed my way forward. And failure, a no isn't a failure unless you really dwell on it and make an excuse. Don't be afraid of failure. Just realize it's part of the process. People say no to Nick. It's shocking. I'd be scared too. People say no to Jason or Joel. It's crazy. But know that if you talk to enough people, you will get those yeses. Traits of a millionaire and a leader is that they are, or a millionaire is that they're leaders and teachers. Write this down. The greatest teacher is the best student. The greatest teacher is the best student. What are you doing to further your education right now in this industry? Sitting here, right? You've invested your afternoon, you've invested some money to be here today. What other things are you doing on a daily basis? Reading? Well, that's actually a horrific idea. Do you mind if I call you out on it? Do you watch the news every day? Or read it?
Yes.
Yeah, tell me what majority of news is. Opinions. Well, what are they really reporting on? Is it positive or negative? A lot of negative, right? And it's shocking. I was watching the news the other day. And I don't do it by choice. I was on the treadmill, and they have the TV screens, and I can't hear it, but they have subtitles. You guys seen that, right? They'll have like the closed captioning. And they're talking about a stabbing in a Houston jewelry store. Yet the woman just was like, and we'll get more information out of it, and I'm stabbing to you as it develops. I'm like, what Oh, like, this is like not right. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is crazy. The thing is I would bet that if you went on a news thread for 30 days, that you would find yourself thinking more positively, believing more positively, thinking more optimistically. Here's what the news is anyways. Anything you're watching, Fox News, CNN, this is just my opinion. But my opinion pays me $1.1 million a year. It's just my opinion, so take it for what it's worth. Is that the news will keep you broke. There's nothing on, now so you can be informed. Here's how I get informed. The BBC, something called the Calviny Intelligence Advisory, the MIA. They update it every day. And it's from Reuters and from BBC. American News is, it's not even true. It's just all their agendas. It's propaganda. It's ridiculous. It's all negative. The only thing that's good on the news is when they say good evening and good night. Really. So if you have that 30 minutes and you're spending it to news, and for some of you guys it's not news, it's in Cosmo. Or Style or People. How many of you guys buy People or Us magazines ever? Come on. Or read them at the, at the hairdresser salon or whatever. Stop reading about other people's lives that you don't want. Do any of you guys want Kim Kardashian's life?
Hell no.
No. You don't? Failed marriage? Are you kidding me? You really think her life is awesome? No. Read and get in the set of people that you want. Reading Blair's book and reading, all of these people that just, all these success businesses. The one of the things that you can do is by being a great student to become a good teacher is to commit to a personal development plan. See, the biggest, myth of personal development is that growth happens by chance. Nobody grows accidentally. How many of you guys know the same people for 30 years and they're the exact same person that they were 30 years ago? Yeah. Same beliefs, same status, same things, same experience, same words. Growth doesn't happen by chance, it happens by choice. So you want to set forth a growth plan immediately today. This was my commitment for 2013, was I was going to grow as a better leader. So for you, it might be growing just as a better person, more mindset, better attitude, positivity. So you might want to reprogram some of the bad files, like those myths we were talking about. But you got to set a plan. Here's what I did. I'm money motivated. Clearly. But most of you guys would be shocked to know that I only get $500 a month to spend. That is my budget. I have $500 a month as my free budget to spend. I can spend on anything I want. Clothes, spa, Botox, whatever. I can buy gifts for my friends. $500. How many of you guys are surprised that I only spend $500 a month? How many of you guys that just blew your millionaire myth out of your mind? And most months I don't spend it. I actually have a $200 reserve right now in my spend account that I'll probably use to go on another trip. So we go on personal vacations, we use it with our own money, not our business money. So that's one other thing I can get into all about wealth. But what I'm meaning to say is I'm money motivated, and this is great for kids. How many of you guys would love to earn an extra couple bucks a week, maybe $20 a month, have a little extra spending money? Maybe buy a car, a bike, an iPad too. iPad maybe. How do you guys mind some extra money, right? This is a great example because for kids, give them an incentive to read a book and not Twilight. How about Think and Grow Rich? How could you imagine, what would your 8-year-old be like if they were reading How to Win Friends and Influence People? What would your 14-year-old be like if they were reading books on a monthly basis like the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, or the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John C. Maxwell, or the Laws of Success by Napoleon Hill? What would they be like? So this is what we did. Kids, as I learned from John C. Maxwell, when he was a kid, John C. Maxwell was the best leader, one of the most amazing and foremost experts on leadership in the world. He's written 72 books on leadership. When he was a kid, his father brought him and his siblings to success. For every book he would read, these were the books, he would get paid a commission, like $20 or something like that. And they would have to sit and talk about it at the dinner table with books they were reading. And at the end, sometimes they'd even write a report or a summary, and they discuss what they got out of the book. See, some of you guys are paying your kids for chores. You know why? John C. Maxwell saw that. He's like, Dad, Sam gets, an extra $20 just for taking out the trash. I'll take out the trash for an extra $20. He goes, no, you'll take out the trash because you're a member of the family.
Right?
That's just part of your duties. But he grew his kids to put them on a personal growth plan. So I said this to my husband as soon as I heard this in December. I'm like, I want to be on a personal growth plan. So I get $50 a month extra on top of my $500 for every book that I complete. So now I have incentives. So it's funny, as I find myself clocking on Facebook a little bit early, not watching, Bachelor as much or whatever it may be, that's my little guilty thing of choice. Not always done getting my books done. The best leaders and best teachers are constant students. Our co-founders are in a personal mentoring relationship with John C. Maxwell right now. They're pretty epic leaders, but they're still learning. So one of the things I would have you guys Google is the 25 best books on success. 25 best success books. And I wish I had the link for you. It's very long. It was an article that was done in Success magazine. So you'll find it. It'll be right there on the top, and it's success.com or successmagazine.com, and it's the 25 best books on success. So it's like How to Win Friends, Think and Grow Rich. These are the books, and when John C. Maxwell saw that article, he saw it when he was like 50. He's like, oh my God, my dad had me read all of these books except for the ones that were printed later. He's like, 80% of those books he read before he was 18.
Wow.
Get on a personal growth plan. You gotta be intentional about your growth. You're not gonna change. In fact, you'll probably regress. You gotta think and you gotta rewrite some of these patterns. Like one of my patterns was, just really candidly, was that I didn't like people very much. I really didn't like people. I didn't really care about them too much, and I had horrific people skills. I masked it with humor, but I was really quite horrible. And it hurt me in life, it hurt me in relationships, and the fact that my mom's relationship was literally hanging by a string at the age of like 23 or 24. And we were at the point where we were going to never talk and never speak again. And I was very, very blessed to be introduced to several books and several type of mentoring type of things and CD sets on people skills, on understanding people and understanding personalities. And also I was like, oh, that's why my mom is the way she is? How many of you guys have people in your life that absolutely annoy you? Like, oh, I get under your skin. Probably it's like your sister, right? You're like, just that one. It was my mom was like, oh, and I was the same way with her. I wasn't, perfect. And so I invested in my education, and it saved our relationship. So being a leader, like I said, if you guys have one or more people on your team, you are a leader. You can view your leadership ability and your leadership lived by who you're signing up, who you're attracting in your business, and if you're able to get them to do anything. A true leader can move people. So write it down right now. What is the immediate thing that you're going to do coming out of today in a personal growth plan? What is the immediate thing that you're going to start doing differently? Is it cutting out the news? Is it reading an extra book? Is it attending an extra seminar each year? What is it that you're going to do? And I'm all about having guilty pleasures as well. Like the news is for some people or magazines are for others. I really love diners, drive-ins, and dives. Have you guys ever watched that show? Gosh, Yeti. Traits on the leader. Always focus on the positive. Millionaires seem to always be positive thinkers. They're not negative Nancy's. They're not problem Patties. They're not always looking at the doomsday. They're not always looking at what's going wrong. They're looking at what can I do to improve? What can I do to be better? How can I fix this? How can I improve? Always focusing on the positive. And sometimes your entire world is like collapsing around you. This morning was like, we had a rough morning this morning. And there was shakes flying everywhere in the bedroom. There was it was just crazy. It was bananas. I think there was urine involved with the child. It was a rough morning. And during the moment of, I think I could cry right now. But let's look at the positive. We're on our way to an incredible event, amazing people, and at the end of the day, a little bit of chocolate shake spilled on the floor. Don't cry over chocolate shake. Spilled chocolate shake. Always focus on the positive. We talked briefly about limiting beliefs again. I think it bears worth repeating is I'm too old, I'm too young. We have a lot of young people. How many people are under the age of 30 in here? There's quite a few. Wow. How many of you guys have ever felt like I'm too young to be a 5-star ambassador? I'm too young to do that. I'm too young. People won't listen to me. How are they going to listen to me? I'm so young. You guys ever felt that? Ever? I had that when I was just getting started, especially because I was, tall, skinny, and I wasn't blonde. So I was like, I'm not going to just like this dumb young blonde, right? But I figured, you know what? If Charles Marion, who's 25 years old, can go to 5-star ambassador, why can't any of you? If I can get 5-star ambassador at 26, why can't any of you? Kristen Johnson can get it at 25, why can't any of you? Over half of the 6-figure earners in our industry, not in the industry, in Visalis, over half of the 6- and 7-figure earners are under the age of 40. Yet, some of you guys are like, well, I'm too old. That's my prime. Nobody's going to listen to me, this is a sexy company, or whatever. Well, tell me about Dylan McCoy. He's like 80. He's a 4-star ambassador. I think Calvin said he is like 105. I think he sold trouble or something. He's way too wise to be like 40. I'm just crazy. I'm not a salesperson. How many of you guys, if I show hands, have said that to yourself? I'm not a salesperson. How many of you guys have ever heard that from somebody? Oh, I'm not a good salesperson. I don't know. I just can't talk to people. I'm not a salesperson. Do you realize that we're all in sales? We are all in sales. Any stay-at-home moms here? Here, back with you. You are in sales. Do you know that? You're in sales. You sell your kids to eat carrots instead of Cheetos. Any teachers in the room? Teachers. Are you in sales?
Oh, yeah.
Are you in sales? Teachers. You're selling your kids to do homework. You're always selling. How many of you guys are married? You closed. So don't say that you can't sell, because clearly you closed one of the largest sales transactions of your life. And if I were to ask your spouse if they did a good job on closing you, I'm sure that they would agree. Unless they were the closer and they hunted you. Yeah. I live in a small town. This should be blown out of the water. I had a woman that came into our business a year and a half ago. She lives in a small town in Iowa. I'm trying to remember the name. I keep thinking it's New London, and it's not. But I'll say New London for the purpose. It's in Iowa. It's Nowheresville. It's in Nowheresville, Iowa. She lives in Nowheresville, Iowa. She worked at the park and recs, and she had done a little bit of network marketing, but never made more than like $200 to $300 a month. Just kind of enough to pay for her product. She got started, we plugged her into the system, the GST, the party model, did exactly what we're going to teach you the second half of today, and in 45 days she became an ambassador. Population of her town, 5,000 people. We have another town that's 5,000 people in Duncan, British Columbia, and when we were running that team of 5,000 people, we were doing $40,000 a month in group volume just in Duncan, British Columbia. Have you guys know where Duncan is? Exactly. I live in a small town. My friends in Millionaire Native. Fire them.
Yes.
Now this is like, I can't fire my mom. No, you can limit your exposure to her. You can love your mom still and love your family, but it doesn't mean that you have to listen to them and be in front of them non-stop. Kenny and I were talking about that. Your income is the average income of the 5 people that you hang around with the most. Your beliefs are a combination of the 5 people that you hang around with the most, that you text the most, that you call the most, that you Facebook the most, the people that are in your life the most. Your waistline is the size of the 5 people that you hang around with the most. And one of the times when we were in the best shape of our lives through this challenge, we were living in Canada. Well, it helped that we could drive anywhere we want, because it's a very walking, we're in the city. But we were hanging out with 4 of our close friends, with Ryan, Chris, and Kristen, and Josh. And we're hanging out with them, and they were all like gym buffs 6 days a week. They were like slight vegans, half or pill. I mean, we were just like, they were healthy. Like, our idea of a cheat was like sushi. Really, I mean, it was all about health. I mean, hiking and biking and trails, and if you feel like you're not getting great results in your challenge and you're around people that constantly want to take you out for 5 Guys burgers and thighs, suggest something else. Hey, I'd love to hang out, but I want to take a walk. But get around people that are positive. Get around people that inspire you. Who are the 5 people right now that you'd love to spend more time with? Write it down. Who are the 5 people right now you would love to talk to more? That have what you want, that do what you want to do, that live the way you want to live. You have 10 go-kats a day in Canada. I want to go. I was telling Vanessa, that was like the first one didn't take. Go was like 2 ounces of heaven. It's like precious. Okay. When we found this out that you were the accumulation of the 5 people that you hung around with the most, we fired 4 of them. The 5 people. I love you. I wish you luck. You're not serving me right now. This relationship is not getting me to where I want to go. And sometimes there's tough conversations, sometimes we just kind of let them fade out of our life. And we wish them luck. I'm not saying that they're horrible people, but we knew we were called for bigger and better things. How many of you guys know that you're called for bigger and better things? Amen. Church! In Houston, there's really the Bible Belt when we get over there, and it's like, I'm talking, people are like, amen! Hallelujah. I feel like I should have like a towel, like a sweaty brow, like I'm like a preacher in service. You guys ever watch church on TV? Not have the right personality, and just not cut out. Just not cut out. Living beliefs and lies that are keeping you broke. Oops. Oh, go back. Well, deciding to just feel the case. I'm missing one. Okay. It's missing out here, that's okay, I'll just do it. So one of the things that I want to encourage you to kind of end with this in this segment is that there are laws of your success. There are laws of your success that will occur no matter what. And a law is a law like gravity, right? Can you, for instance, like if I take this dough shot and I drop it, what is going to happen?
Fall.
It's going to hit the floor. Why?
Gravity.
So it's a law, right? So if I look at this dough shot and I'm not like, don't fall. Don't fall. Why did it fall? Because it's a law, right? So even if I write down positive affirmations and, I am one with the go shot. The go shot's blessing. And I say these and I repeat these with my crystals and my incense and all that. What happens when I let go?
Fall.
Because of what?
Law.
So the laws of success are things that are inevitable, meaning that you cannot, it will happen to you, and they're things that you must go through in order to get to the top. How many of you guys want to know what those are? Okay. The first one is that your friends and family will try to discourage you. So poignant with what we just got out of. So it's not if your friends and family will try to discourage you, it's just when. It's when they will. And it'll come in some like, see, I told you we're going to get that Beamer. What are you going to do when the company goes under? Oh, your uncle, he tried a bunch of those things. never work. Why don't you stop getting your head out of the clouds and get a real job? We were told that for many years. Because we were such fails in business, they're like, oh, they're so cute, that little couple, they're so entrepreneurial. Maybe they'll settle down one day and get real and get back down to earth, get a real job. I'm so glad I didn't listen to get a real job. Your friends and family will try to discourage you. Number 2, inevitable law of success is that people will hate you for no reason. Bet you weren't prepared for that one. People will hate you for no reason. And it's crazy. It's like, I don't know what it is. Is it jealousy or envy? But all of a sudden, I mean, you know how it is. Like, maybe it's just because you're getting skinny and they're so fat, or, you know, these muscles, you got this little ab hanging out, and they're like, I got this ab muscle, and you post on Facebook, and they're like, geez, extra challenge, right? You know, oh my God, he's all about beavers now. He's so materialistic. So mean. I hate her. And I spread rumors about you. That's hilarious. People will hate you for no reason. It's a free beaver. Like, really? Are you kidding me? Number 3, inevitable law of success is that you will doubt yourself 1,000 times. You will doubt yourself 1,000 times. You will doubt yourself. You're saying, maybe I can't really lead these people. Maybe I really can't finish this challenge. Maybe I'm not cut out for it. What if I can't get on stage? What if I fumble? What if I sound like an idiot? Every day, there's still times where I'm like, do I even know what I'm doing? Like, do I really know? Or am I just kind of flying by the seat of my pants? You will doubt yourself constantly. It's an inevitable law. It's not if it'll happen this way. 4, you will want to quit 1,000,000 times. On the road to success and on your road to top, becoming a millionaire, you will want to quit 1,000,000 times. It's not if it'll happen this way. And so here's my advice to you, and here's the biggest warning I can give you today, is never quit on your young mistake. Because you will have it. There was a time, that's probably, I said 8, 9 months ago, and there was a big miscommunication. You guys ever had miscommunication in your life? Big miscommunication that happened, had to do with like prospect and team members and all sorts of stuff. And all of a sudden, people were calling people to the carpet and character and just name calling, and it just blew up. And this is what some of our closest business partners, I'm talking about people that we travel with, people that we have mentored, people that we're so close with, that were like family, and all of a sudden they were like, you are. I mean, it was devastating. I'm 27 years old at the time. I was like, 100 a month is not worth it. Seriously. Tears, bawling. Is it worth it? It isn't worth the pain. F this. But I'm all feeling like that he is. She's like, baby, go take a bubble bath. I'm gonna go get some wine. Do you want cookies too? I'm like, yes. Double chocolate chip chocolate. You know, those Whole House that come in 3 packages that you cook slightly undercooked so they're still kind of mushy. Sorry.
Go.
And I took time and I bawled my face out and spent time in prayer and took a couple days like just to think about it and talk to my mentors and talk to people that loved us. The best thing I did was later that night I called somebody who, you know, happened to be one of my mentors above, and, you know, he said the right things at the right time. He spoke life into me. Could you imagine if I had quit? And it's happened a ton of times. There's so many times where I'm like, this isn't worth it. You know, where I decide to miss a big event. Here at Houston, like this big family party sort of thing to go help a team member in Oklahoma, and an $800 flight because it was last minute, and they're doing this big thing, and I get there, there's 15 promoters and 1 guest. Lord, give me strength. There's going to be a million times that you want to quit. There's going to be times where that entire organization just collapses underneath you. There's a time where your upline, they may leave. They may talk bad about you. They may talk bad about the company. They may talk bad about the products. They may talk bad about you. There's going to be times where you just absolutely just feel like there's absolutely no more energy in your body to run. But you will get your legs underneath you. I call network marketing legs, like sea legs. You'll get them underneath you, you'll build endurance. Just never promise me. Will you promise? Say I promise.
Promise.
You'll never quit on your darkest day. Immediately get on the phone with somebody that is a person that believes in you and have that conversation